So we've travelled now right up to the very top of the neck, and we're working with the capitis muscles, which control the movements of C1 and C2, the atlas and the actis. So we have, if C2 is roughly here, coming across from the transverse process of C1 to C2, we have rectus capitis posterior major. We have oblique capitis inferior, and then coming up oblique capitis superior, and then in the middle rectus capitis posterior minor. Let's not worry about the names. It's basically a little W of muscles which control, and it's this kind of shape, something a bit like that, control the movements of C2 here and C1 here, and they come up onto the occipital ridge. Have a look in your booklets to remind yourself of the names. Again, in terms of palpation, am I confident with these that I touch them? Nah. So what I'm doing is I'm going to go in and just hold, squeeze in, and now I'm thinking in terms of the transverse one that comes out horizontally, and then I go up the one that goes onto that occipital ridge. Then I come inside and then right up into the middle for the other. So there's four. So there's one shape here coming out that way, another shape here coming up there, and I can do this with fingertips. And then there's two in the middle coming up like that, and hold, and coming up here and hold. How does that feel, Claire?
It's really tender in there, actually.
Yeah, it's quite powerful. I'm just going to run through that again. I'm not doing big movements, it's just a squeeze and a hold. And I'm following that sense of a W like this. Here, here, and then there are two in the middle. That's the way I tend to think of it as well. And if in any one moment you ask me which one was that called, I'd probably have to have a look at the picture because I can't remember. What I do have in mind is the thought that I'm now supporting the very top of Claire's neck to soften up and let go a little bit. Yeah. And now we're going to turn Claire over for the next clip.